Welcome to the Thumbody podcast, where we explore the busy intersection of personal branding and entrepreneurship. This is episode number 8. Statistics actually show that most podcasts never get past the 7th show. This is a milestone and a statistically relevant show. I'm your host, Jimmy Gibson, and I'm here to remind you that you are Thumbody special. Yep, by now you should be fully in the know about the Thumbody brand and the backstory. No? Invest another 10 minutes in episode number 1. The full story is there. Grab some popcorn and enjoy. It is a good story, though. On the Thumbody Show, we're all about spreading the power of one-of-a-kindness. We believe that everyone has unique gifts and talents that can be used to make a positive impact in the world. Part of your ability to make a positive impact is connecting with others. Why, what a coincidence. That leads us to our topic today. Today we're talking about a crucial aspect of making connections, the magic secret to building your personal brand on LinkedIn. We'll explore what it takes to pull back the curtain on LinkedIn and really leverage its secrets. We've got a story segment, a guest appearance by LinkedIn expert Kenneth Nell, and our Ask Alex column. Ask Alex, of course, is our LinkedIn algorithm. Let's get started with the Thumbody Show.
And now, our special segment. It's what you've been waiting for.
Welcome to our Behind the Curtain of LinkedIn episode, where we reveal the secrets of successful entrepreneurship on LinkedIn. Now, did you know that less than 3% of LinkedIn users are regularly posting and engaging with content? It's a statistic that might make you feel like LinkedIn is actually more like a deserted island than a thriving social media platform. But fear not. There's a secret to cracking the code and unlocking the power of LinkedIn, and it's all about shifting your mindset. Instead of treating LinkedIn as just a place to post your resume and forget about it, think of it as a magical tool for building relationships, sharing valuable insights, and establishing yourself as Thumbody on LinkedIn. By actively engaging with your network and sharing content that showcases your expertise, you can actually attract new business opportunities, connect with other entrepreneurs and investors, and establish yourself as an authority in your field. And the best part, you don't have to be a social media guru to make all this happen. As an entrepreneur, you know how important it is to establish your brand in order to stand out from the competition. However, with so many platforms available, it can be difficult to know where to focus your energy. That's where LinkedIn comes in. Actually, with over 700 million users, LinkedIn is the world's largest professional networking platform and a powerful tool for building your personal brand. But how do you go about building a personal brand on LinkedIn? The first step is to create a strong profile that highlights your unique skills, expertise, and values. Think of your profile as your personal billboard. It should grab people's attention and leave a lasting impression. We'll actually be digging into what makes a great profile in our next episode. But as a teaser, one way to make your profile stand out is by crafting a compelling headline that tells people who you are and what you do. Your headline is like the opening trick of a magic show. It should capture people's attention and leave them wanting more. Another way to build your personal brand on LinkedIn is by sharing valuable content that showcases your expertise and thought leadership. Just like a magician revealing a new trick, your content should offer insights and perspectives that your audience has not seen before. But perhaps the most important aspect of personal branding on LinkedIn is engaging with your network. Again, just like a magician engaging with their audience, you need to actively participate in conversations, comment on other people's posts, and share your own insights and experiences. In fact, I asked LinkedIn expert Kenneth Nell to give us some insight into the mindset of how you should approach LinkedIn. Here's what I posted to Kenneth. Could you send me your secret tip on how LinkedIn is a whole new world when you decide to peek behind the curtain? Now, here was his response. Now remember, this is a secret tip from a LinkedIn expert.
Hey Jimmy, thanks for the request. I actually just did a post on that today about how when you pull back the curtain of LinkedIn, there's a myriad of gears and levers that you can pull. But the one thing that nobody does, and if you just keep doing this, you will find a way to generate revenue consistently on LinkedIn, And the one thing that people don't do is engage. They do not go and comment on other comments in creators' posts. So you may be following thought leaders in your industry, but for some reason, people just don't say hello to the other people in the room. I liken it to when you go to a networking event. You walk into the room, you meet the host of the event, and then you go and sit in the corner at the bar and drink a beer. You don't talk to anybody else in the room. I mean, seriously, what is the point of LinkedIn if not to network? And how do you network? You greet people. You start a conversation with people. The art of small talk. Most people have forgotten that, and that's what I do. I help people make their profiles look really good, create curiosity, create content for them so that they come across as professional. But most importantly, I show them how to create small talk and start conversations so that they can consistently generate revenue and create a predictable business online. Hope that helps.
Thanks, Kenneth. Great insights. If you'd like to get in touch with Kenneth, I'll leave a link to his website and LinkedIn profile in the show notes. You can learn about his 10-point LinkedIn action plan, taking you from a fly on the wall to the star of the show. I'll tell you how I met Kenneth later. It actually has to do with exactly what he shared. But the big question is, how do you engage? What's the secret? Well, who better to ask than the LinkedIn algorithm? I believe I am actually sure we are the only podcast that has direct access to the LinkedIn algorithm, live in person. Well, not really in person. Anyway, here's our special segment.
Are you ready to crack the code of the LinkedIn algorithm? Let me grab my tinfoil hat and I'll get right on that.
It's time for Ask Alex. I'm Alexandria Algorithm. My friends call me Alex. Anyway, what are your questions for me, the LinkedIn algorithm? Okay, this listener wants to know, I hear that engaging with other posts is the key to building my following. Is that true? Hello, LinkedIn user. I've seen your activity. Comments like agree or nice are essentially meaningless to me. I mean, seriously, do you think typing out a single word is going to make a difference in your professional network? Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the effort, but let's be real. If you want to make a meaningful impact on this platform, you need to bring your A game. That means crafting thought-provoking responses and engaging in genuine dialogue with your connections. So go ahead and hit that like button all you want, but if you really want to stand out and make a lasting impression, put in the extra effort to write something of substance. Trust me on this. Understand? Sincerely, Alexandria, the Empress of Engagement.
Thanks, Alex. Great tips. She is so smart. We've heard from Kenneth, Alex, and I've challenged you to reframe your approach and mindset about LinkedIn. But what's my LinkedIn story? Before I get into my LinkedIn story, let me share a related story from my past.
It's Thumbody story time. Business is not boring. Au contraire. Bring your brand to life with storytelling.
When I was 15, I learned a lesson from a magician. It's a lesson actually I'll never forget. To pursue greatness, raise the stakes. Here's actually what happened. As a young student of magic, Richard Ross fascinated me. He was a Dutch magician who was the only 3-time winner of the World Championship for Magic. His expertise was sleight of hand on stage, or as magicians call it, manipulation. One of his classic routines was the ability to cause billiard balls to multiply and change colors in his bare hands. To make the illusion look believable, countless hours of practice are required. You drop the balls over and over and over. Now, I practice my version of the billiard ball routine with my hands over my bed. When the balls fell over and over and over, I could pick up the ball off the bed and continue my rehearsal. That was pretty smart, right? I saved myself the trouble of bending over to pick up the balls off the floor, or worse, chasing them across the room. Now, after Ross won the world competition for the second time, I read a bio published in a magician's trade magazine. The interviewer asked about the win and how he prepared. His answer actually floored me. Ross explained that he couldn't be a great magician if he dropped a ball on stage. As a boy, he would rehearse with his hand stretched out of his second-floor bedroom window. When he dropped a ball, he would be forced to leave his room, go downstairs, and retrieve the ball from below the window. He explained that you have to set yourself up for greatness by raising the stakes. At the time, learning this lesson was hard, of course. I was looking for the easy way out, but in hindsight, I'm thankful that I read that story. I've actually thought about the lesson many times as it relates to business and life. What can you do to raise the stakes and pursue greatness? All right, so what does this story have to do with LinkedIn? I'm sure I was like most of you who had a LinkedIn profile as an online resume. I connected with past colleagues in hopes I could call in a favor if I was looking for a new job. Yep, does that sound familiar to you? About a year ago, I kept hearing rumblings that LinkedIn was the new creator platform. YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram were getting crowded, and organic traffic was at an all-time low. I also read the statistics that 3% of less of the members on LinkedIn were actually creating content. The demographics of the 700 million users was impressive, and the members are used to buying conversations, being a business crowd. All of these statistics started to gnaw at the fact that I felt apprehensive about sharing anything. Yeah, I was in that 97, 98%. Why should I contribute to the noise? At the same time, I'd written about 20,000 words of a new book, and I felt I needed to go about it in a different way. It's then that I discovered Ship 30 for 30 with Nicholas Cole and Dickie Bush. It was a writing cohort that required you to write in public and post a piece of content every day for 30 days, hence the name Ship 30 for 30. Honestly, the whole thing scared me to death. Then visions of the billiard ball routine and Richard Ross holding his arm out the window flashed through my memory. I had to raise the stakes. I signed up. I can tell you it was the perfect decision at the time. I shipped 30 pieces of content in 30 days. I then committed to regular posts on LinkedIn for the next 6 months. I actually ended that 6-month run just a few weeks ago. I pulled back the curtain on LinkedIn, I found my voice, and as a result, I launched this podcast, and we're in episode 8. I joined another community where I met Kenneth Nell. I'll talk about the community in future episodes. In fact, as one of my pieces of content, I posted the magic story that I shared earlier. In the last 90 days, it's my number 2 most popular post. It's a story on LinkedIn. It got comments, shares, reposts. Now, think about what we've covered today. Are you ready to peek behind the curtain of LinkedIn? What are you going to do to raise the stakes? Well, thanks for hanging out with us today on this action-packed episode. Navigating LinkedIn is a must for your brand.
That's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. Before you go, here's our rule of thumb from today's episode. Ooh, a thumb tip.
We've heard from Alex, the LinkedIn algorithm. Kenneth has encouraged us to engage with others. I've challenged you to raise the stakes. The rule of thumb from today's episode: to make a difference in the world and to understand how you can impact the lives of others, you must connect with people like you, people who are different than you, people you can learn from, and people who can learn from you. A proactive approach to engaging with others will produce connections that you're going to appreciate for years to come. Make yourself a goal to engage with 5 people on LinkedIn this week. Don't forget to tune in to each upcoming episode where we explore the backstage area of LinkedIn. Plus, there's 7 more episodes you can binge. A new episode is released every Thursday. I call it Thumbody Thursday. Easy to remember. Thanks for listening to The Thumbody Show.
Ready to become a part of the most exclusive club around? Wow, really? The Thumbody Club is where it's at. As a member, you'll get a membership card. Oh yeah, be a part of the global community of Thumbodies and receive a super secret weekly club newsletter.
Wow!
But that's not all. We've got a bag full of tricks coming throughout the year. Just go to imthumbody.com to sign up. And the best part? It's totally free and worth every penny. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity. Join the Thumbody Club.